I want to show you how to set up a Zoom situation, video communication, so that you can do it from anywhere with inexpensive, cheap stuff that you probably already have. You might need a tripod or a bunch of milk crates or something like that, something to get the laptop up to an eye level. I'm going to show you what I do with a couple of simple things. First, I'll show you what I do for being out on the road, being able to do video communications from anywhere, and then I'll show you what I have in my office as well. Here's my super simple, portable Zoom device for being able to run a Zoom call from anywhere. In the case of this, we are just in my backyard right at the moment. You can see we've got the kids' volleyball net up there and going, and I want to show you how easy it is to make this sucker. Basically, it's on a tripod, and I've just done a few really simple things, and I'll just show you how it works. I guess one of the keys is I want to be able to stand at it. So I want to have the camera at my eye height. So what you can see there is the camera is definitely at my eye height. I really like to use the keyboard. So I like having my hands down here while this is up at this level. I use a keyboard with a actual hard wire in just because there's less things to go wrong. But I'm also using the iPad and the iPad Pencil, which is connected to my screen via AirPlay. This actually helps me be able to do Zoom calls from literally anywhere. The tripod can be packed down into the back of a car. You could set this up on a beach. You could set it up anywhere where there is good audio. And I'm actually going to show you in a separate video how to get that good audio as well. What makes this possible is a few really simple bits of home timber work. If I take that off, what we've now got is just a simple little bit of timber with something that will hold the hold the laptop so that it doesn't slide off. I actually attach it to the top of my tripod head. I'll show you that in just a second. Likewise, the keyboard is just a chunk of timber which is attached via a couple of clamps to my tripod. I happen to use lighting clamps because I have them, but you could use gaffer tape or whatever you like, and that's the system that I use. So my wonderful invention here is just, as you can see, it's just the top of a tripod, and on the bottom I've just attached a tripod mount. Literally all it is a couple of chunks of pretty crappy timber. I've just made it so that with spare timber from the shed, so that I've got something that stops it falling off the end, and something that stops it falling off the back, and something that will just hold it. The really cool thing about having any kind of tripod head, this is a ball head, it's just a particular type of head, but you can change it to suit the angle that you're on. You can rise it and lower it and just get it at your eye level. We all know exactly how important I think it is to have a camera at an eye level, because when it's at your eye level, you're communicating with people on the same level. If you've got your laptop and it's down here and you're looking down at them, that says something completely different. Or if your camera's way up here and you're looking up at them, it puts you in a bit of an inferior position. So your eye line is really important. The next bit of high-tech device is this chunk of timber, which is just held on with a couple of brackets on the back of the tripod. If you're in any way photography inclined, you would know that gaff tape makes the world go round. And if I were you, I'd just gaff tape this to the tripod any way you can. That's what most of us do in the industry. Okay, so the keyboard stand, I've just loosened off the clamps and I can just take it off. As you can see, it is again a chunk of timber, and under it I've just put a couple of L brackets that you can get from any Bunnings. I've just tilted them so that it matches the tripod, and I can just gaff them on. So it's just a very simple tripod. The attachments I use are these, which are just, these are photographic things that I have lying around, but you could use any kind of clamp or gaffer tape that it takes to just clamp that on, do it up, nice and simple. And really this is a regular tripod that just folds down into a really small shape. Put it in the boot of a car, so between the tripod, my keyboard stand and my laptop stand, I could go anywhere in the world and work via Zoom, and I plan to. One day I'm going to be doing this from the front of a boat in the Mediterranean. I hope. That's the plan anyway. So where are you going to work from? because we can work just as fine via Zoom and video in isolation or on the front of the boat or in your office. As long as you've got a way to transport this, keep the thing at eye level and make it comfortable for working, then you can go anywhere. This is what the same setup looks like in my office. Let me take you around it. In the background, we've got where I'm doing it from in my office. It's very similar in a lot of ways. I've set up my desk so that I've got a desk and my laptop is on a riser. And so what you can see is down here I've got my keyboard, I've got my iPad with my pencil, I've got a microphone with earphones attached to it, I've got my desktop, my laptop, of course I've got a glass of water, some plants around me, a nice view out the window, and this happens to be a stand-up desk so that I can actually make it much bigger. I can actually have it standing up. The thing that lots of you probably don't see is my lights. Let me show you over those. The lights that I have are just video lights. They're simple, they're cheap. I'll send you a link to them. But what I've done is I've just attached those lights to the wall either side so that when you have a look at my desk, what you've got is my desk is always well lit. So those lights are high and out of my eye line, and they just light me up. All that's in them is some standard LED bulbs. You can see the pretty low-tech way I've held that on. We've just got another bracket with a spigot, and that's just holding on and plugging straight into the power point. I just use standard LED light bulbs in these soft boxes, so you can see that that's just a soft box that I've just taken the front off, and I can just put that straight over so it softens all the light. But the cool thing about the LEDs is that I can leave them on all day and they don't chew up too much power. Some of my old video lights, like the actual professional video lights, they chew up a lot of power, and I didn't want to pay for all that power just to keep them on, and were noisy. These guys are soft, cheap, and I can leave them on all day and not noisy at all. They're fantastic. Here was my backup mic. This is the Rode Mini. It's fantastic. Same as this one here. This is the Rode NT USB. It just plugs in via USB cable straight in there and makes me sound really good. You're hearing the sound on the camera at the moment, so the camera's not awesome. Okay, so that's my setup for how you can run Zoom or do video meetings from pretty much anywhere in the world, whether it's in an office with a desk or whether it's out with a tripod. That's how you can be a total boss at the video. Enjoy.